Overheard my partner mocking my career with their friends. I left them and took the dream house they wanted. I'm a 34-year-old woman working as a marketing manager at a growing tech company. My career had always been a source of pride and fulfillment for me. I thrived on creating campaigns, leading teams, and seeing my ideas come to life. My partner, whom I'll refer to as P, and I had been together for 5 years. We shared a comfortable life in a beautiful home, a dream house I had worked tirelessly to purchase with the hope of building a future together. One Saturday afternoon, I decided to take some time off work to catch up on a few personal projects and enjoy the weekend. I headed to our home office, a bright room filled with inspirational quotes and the latest tech gadgets that I loved incorporating into my work. As I set up my laptop and began organizing my files, I overheard laughter and hushed conversations coming from the living room. Curious, I decided to investigate. I walked down the hallway, pausing outside the living room door to listen more closely. The conversation was unmistakable. P was mocking my career in a tone that was both dismissive and cruel. "You know, she really thinks those social media posts are going to make her famous," P was saying, chuckling. "I mean, come on, marketing manager. It's not like she's running a Fortune 500 company." My heart sank. I felt a mix of anger, hurt, and disbelief. How could P belittle something that I was so passionate about? I pushed open the door, my presence immediately silencing the room. "What's going on here?" I demanded, trying to keep my voice steady despite the turmoil inside me. P looked up, surprise, and then guilt flashing across his face. "Oh, hey, I was just talking to some friends about work stuff. Mocking my career? Is that what you were doing?" I couldn't keep the accusation out of my voice. He tried to laugh it off, but his eyes betrayed his discomfort. No, I was just joking around. You know how guys do." "Joking around?" I echoed, my frustration mounting. "You've been dismissing my hard work and achievements behind my back. How long has this been going on?" He shifted uncomfortably, glancing at his friends who were now silent, sensing the tension. "It's not a big deal. I didn't mean anything by it, but it was a big deal. Every late night, every project I poured my heart into, P had been undermining me without my knowledge." The betrayal cut deep, not just professionally, but personally. I had trusted him implicitly, believing that we were partners in every sense of the word. As the initial shock wore off, anger took its place. "You think it's funny to belittle my career? To make me feel like my passion is nothing?" His face hardened. "I never said it was nothing. I just think you could do more, achieve more." "That's not how you support someone," I retorted, my voice rising. "That's how you tear them down. I deserve better than this." He tried to reach out, but I recoiled. "No, I won't let you disrespect me like this anymore. I'm done." With that, I turned and walked out of the room, the weight of his words and actions pressing down on me. I needed to process what had just happened, to understand how the person I loved could betray me so profoundly. As I sat alone in our once shared living room, I felt a determination settle over me. If Pete couldn't respect and support my career, then it was time to take control of my life and ensure that his entitlement didn't dictate my future. Revenge wasn't just about retaliation. It was about reclaiming my dignity and ensuring that he faced the consequences of his actions. The days that followed were a blur of emotions and strategic planning. I couldn't let P's disrespect go unanswered. I began by documenting every instance of his belittling comments, both those I overheard and ones I had noticed throughout our relationship. It was exhausting, but I knew it was necessary. I reached out to my attorney, someone I had consulted with before for minor work-related issues, and explained the situation. She listened patiently, her expression serious. "You have every right to protect your reputation and your career," she assured me. "We can take legal action if necessary, but let's start by addressing this internally." Her words gave me a semblance of hope. I decided to confront P again, this time with the intention of making him understand the gravity of his actions. I scheduled a time when we could talk privately, away from friends and distractions. When the day arrived, I felt a mixture of anxiety and resolve. I walked into our home office, where P was still lounging with his friends, now looking increasingly uncomfortable after our last confrontation. "We need to talk," I stated firmly, cutting through the tension in the room. He glanced up, a mixture of guilt and defiance in his eyes. "What now?" "I've been thinking about everything that's happened," I began, keeping my tone calm but assertive. "Your comments about my career were hurtful and uncalled for. I deserve respect, especially when I'm striving to achieve my goals." He scoffed, trying to deflect. "I was just being honest. You need to push yourself more." "Honesty doesn't mean tearing someone down," I countered. "If you can't support me, then maybe we need to reconsider our relationship." His facade of nonchalance cracked as he realized the seriousness of my stance. "You're overreacting. It was just a joke." "No, it wasn't," I replied, my voice steady. "It was a reflection of how you see me and my work. I can't be with someone who doesn't value what I do." P's friends exchanged uneasy glances, sensing the shift in the dynamic. P tried to interject, but I silenced him with a raised hand. "No, let me finish. I've decided to leave. I can't continue living in a relationship where my career is mocked and belittled." The room fell silent, the weight of my decision settling in. P looked defeated, the entitlement and manipulation that had characterized his behavior now exposed for what it was. I turned and walked out, leaving behind the remnants of what was once our shared life. As I packed my things, I felt a sense of liberation. Taking over the dream house he wanted was a strategic move, ensuring that he couldn't leverage our shared assets against me. I knew it was time to start anew, to focus on my career and rebuild my life without his toxic influence. Rebuilding my life wasn't easy, but it was necessary. I took over the dream house, transforming it into a space that reflected my own tastes and ambitions. It became a symbol of my resilience and determination to thrive despite the challenges I faced. With the house settled, I turned my attention to my career. I sought out new projects, took on leadership roles, and even mentored junior colleagues. My dedication didn't go unnoticed, and soon I was being recognized for my hard work and creativity. The betrayal from P had ignited a fire within me, pushing me to excel in ways I hadn't before. But P wasn't ready to let go without a fight. He began to use our mutual friends to spread rumors about me, attempting to tarnish my reputation and isolate me within our social circle. He would casually mention our past relationship, twisting events to make me look bad. It was a frustrating and draining battle, but I refused to let him dictate how others perceived me. Determined to protect my reputation, I decided to confront him once more, this time with concrete evidence of his deceit and entitlement. I had gathered testimonies from mutual friends who had witnessed his mocking behavior firsthand, as well as financial records showing his attempts to misuse our shared assets. I arranged a meeting in a neutral location, a quiet cafe, where we could talk without interruptions. As I walked in, I saw him sitting alone, his posture defensive. "We need to clear the air," I stated, taking a seat across from him. He looked up, a mix of anger and desperation in his eyes. "What are you talking about?" "I've heard what you've been saying behind my back, mocking my career and spreading false rumors," I said, laying out the evidence I had collected. "I'm not going to let you destroy my reputation without consequences." P's face flushed with embarrassment and anger. "You have no proof. You're just trying to get back at me because you left?" "Actually, I do have proof," I replied calmly, "and I'm prepared to take legal action if necessary. Your entitlement and manipulation end now." His friends, who had been watching from a distance, started to approach, sensing the tension. "Is this true?" one of them asked, looking between us. I nodded, feeling a surge of vindication. "Yes, it is, and I'm not going to stand by while you undermine my career and my life." P tried to argue, but the evidence was overwhelming. The truth was undeniable, and his attempts to twist it were futile. The confrontation reached its peak when one of our mutual friends stepped forward, supporting my claims and exposing P's manipulative behavior. The revelation was a turning point. The group began to distance themselves from P, recognizing his entitlement and deceit for what it was. I felt a sense of closure, knowing that I had taken control of the situation and ensured that P faced the consequences of his actions. But I wasn't finished yet. Revenge, in its most satisfying form, wasn't just about holding him accountable. It was about reclaiming my power and ensuring that he couldn't harm me or others in the future. With P out of the picture, I focused on solidifying my career and personal life. The dream house became my sanctuary, a place where I could thrive and continue to build the life I deserved. I invested in my professional growth, attending conferences, expanding my network, and even starting my own side projects that allowed me to explore new creative avenues. But P's legacy lingered in the form of the damage he had attempted to inflict on my reputation. Determined to erase any remnants of his manipulation, I took proactive steps to rebuild my image. I launched a personal branding campaign, showcasing my achievements and contributions to the industry. I connected with influential figures, sought endorsements, and leveraged social media to highlight my work. The turnaround was remarkable. My career flourished, and I found myself in a position of influence and respect. The dream house, once a symbol of our shared dreams, now stood as a testament to my resilience and success. It was a physical manifestation of my journey from betrayal to empowerment. But revenge wasn't solely about professional triumph. It was about reclaiming my personal life and ensuring that P couldn't disrupt it any further. I revisited our legal agreements, ensuring that all shared assets were fairly divided and that he had no access to my financial resources. I filed for a restraining order, preventing him from contacting me or our mutual friends, ensuring that his attempts to sabotage my life were completely thwarted. As time went on, the wounds of betrayal began to heal. I allowed myself to trust again, opening up to new relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. I met someone who valued my career and supported my ambitions, a stark contrast to the entitlement and manipulation I had endured with P. The climax of my revenge came when I decided to take over the startup P had been funding for his ex. With the business struggling under his mismanagement, I saw an opportunity to turn it around. I invested my time, resources, and expertise into revitalizing the company, transforming it into a successful venture that benefited not just me, but also the employees and stakeholders involved. P's attempts to interfere were met with firm resistance. I secured legal protections to prevent him from making any further moves against the business, ensuring that his entitlement and deceit couldn't harm it any longer. The success of the startup was a satisfying culmination of my revenge, using his own tactics against him, but in a way that brought positive outcomes instead of destruction. But the ultimate twist came when P reached out one final time, desperate and broken. I was wrong, he admitted, his voice devoid of the entitlement that had once characterized him. I realize now how much I hurt you. I'm sorry. I looked at him, the man who had once mocked my career, now stripped of his facade. Sorry isn't enough, I replied, my voice calm but resolute. You chose to betray me, and now you have to live with the consequences. I've moved on, and I'm building a life that's better without you. His pleas faded as he realized that there was no turning back. The revenge I had meticulously planned had not only exposed his deceit, but had also allowed me to reclaim my life and achieve my dreams. The dream house, once a shared aspiration, now stood as a symbol of my triumph over betrayal and entitlement. The resolution of my story wasn't without its bittersweet moments. The journey had been painful, filled with emotional battles and difficult decisions. But the outcome was undeniable. P faced the full consequences of his actions, and I emerged stronger, more resilient, and empowered to build a future that reflected my true self. In the end, my story is one of empowerment and resilience. It underscores the importance of standing up against manipulation and entitlement, and the power of reclaiming control over one's life. The revenge I took was fair and necessary, ensuring that he couldn't harm me or others any longer, while allowing me to thrive in both my personal and professional life. As I continue to grow and build my career, the lessons learned from this experience remain with me. I've learned to value my worth, protect my interests, and stand firm in the face of betrayal. The dream house I took over became not just a symbol of revenge, but a testament to my ability to turn pain into purpose and build a life that I truly deserve. The laughter of my children, the success of my projects, and the support of my community serve as daily reminders of the resilience that defines us all. The revenge I unleashed was a pivotal moment in my journey, transforming pain into purpose and ensuring that I could build a future free from manipulation and deceit. It's a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is a path to healing and empowerment, and that standing up for what is right can lead to profound personal growth and a renewed sense of self.